Hey, listen. I know it's what a crazy person says when they've definitely 100% lost it, but I promise that's not me. I'm not crazy, I swear. Minecraft might be hinting a weather update next, and there's even more to the new update. Smash that like button, get cozy, and let's take a look. Once it drops, while exploring inside of this new update, the entire world will look far more beautiful and a little bit more detailed than ever before. One of the on its own small additions that helps pile up into a gigantic shift for the overworld's aesthetic inside of this update, well, it's this small little guy, smaller than a piece of grass, the bush. Inside of our latest round of patches to the new update, the bush changed big time. So how it worked previously, if you wanted the bush, all you needed to do is walk up to the thing and whack it with your hand and you would actually get the item. Nowadays, no, that's no longer the case. Instead, now, just like its departed countertype, if you want to get your hands on the bush, you're going to need to walk up to this thing with Silk Touch, or maybe even easier, a pair of shears, and, well, actually shear the bush. Hey, Mojang, are you spying on us? We just talked about that. Alongside this beautiful shearing change with the bush, I think it's a nice change. We also have an upgrade to the bush and snow logging, and this always reminds me, snow logging, Minecraft to Java, come on. If there's ever a time, this feels like the perfect update to finally implement it. Now you already know, inside of this new update, inside of the swamp biome, if you make your way over to it, things are going to look even more beautiful than they ever have before. Thanks to these little guys, especially at nighttime. Inside of this week's round of updates to Minecraft's newest update, we actually have a ton of different firefly bush changes. They're super intriguing. So for starters, if you didn't know, firefly bush generation on Minecraft to Java in Bedrock up until this point, and maybe even still now, but mainly up until this point, it was significantly different on either version of the game. For example, in world generation, Java's version of the firefly bush basically copies sugarcane, and is always, if you look closely, at least in non-swamp biomes, almost always touching the water. Over on Bedrock Edition this week, the firefly bush has a lower chance to generate alongside water when generating. Now, I believe, if I'm understanding this change correctly, this doesn't really just apply to the swamp biome. This is sort of in world generation across your entire world. Like, you know how when you have a river and sometimes you're able to find the firefly bush generating alongside it? Well, I think that should be less common now. That's weird. Additionally, for whatever reason, the patch sizing of the firefly bush has been decreased as well. I'm not 100% sure what it was before, but now it's 2 to 5. I don't understand the idea of decreasing this bush and making it even less common. Like, even with all of these plants still running around through the swamp, it just feels so barren here. Let the fireflies live. Now, beautifully, the firefly bush, if you want to get your hands on it, I mean, it's still different than normal grass. If you walk up to this thing and smack it with your hand, you will actually get the bush itself. Quite beautiful. So no change there. However, snow logging, come on, Bedrock, stop flexing on Java. Stop it. Leave us alone. Stop. It's so evil. Like, you're taunting me. Come on. What? What the heck? Now, one of the weirdest things about both of these new bushes here is the fact that when you bone meal them, it kind of behaves entirely differently. So if I bone meal a normal bush, it actually like places it into the world. Meanwhile, if I bone meal this other bush, it's just like kind of in classic too tall flower fashion, pops off and flies into the air. Admittedly, I'm not too sure exactly when this change went down, but over on Minecraft Bedrock Edition, it's entirely different. If I bone meal the sweet firefly bush, well, it actually physically places down into the world, just like it does with the normal classic bush. It's the smallest update, really, but it's such a nice little consistency one. In the world of not very nice updates, the mangrove swamp biome. So fresh off all of its updates inside of 1.21.60, I have terrible news, my friend. Very bad. So, Bestie, we never got the chance to talk about it here together, but in Bedrock Edition, inside of the new update in the mangrove swamp biome, you were able to find the firefly bush. So this is kind of interesting, you know, because if you know a mangrove swamp biome in real life personally, well, it's meant to be this place that's like teeming with tons and tons of life, especially things like aquatic animals and definitely absolutely bugs. However, inside of the latest preview, it seems that all of the firefly generation has been cut out of this biome. Why the developers would choose to do this and why they insist on having one plant, basically, essentially just grass here inside of every single biome, it makes no sense, because actually running around in this biome when the firefly bushes would have generated previously, I mean, it was kind of beautiful. Because of the darkness of this biome, you would have the fireflies dotting all over the place. Swamp is swamp. Look, to me, it's pretty straightforward. The mangrove swamp should have the firefly bush generate. It's so beautiful. Also, when generating in these darker places, you get the firefly part effects during the day. This would be a great way to show off that, hey, there's a little bit more to this plant if you didn't know. Like, think about it. A couple of years down the line when this thing is dusty and old, if you were the type of player that always sleeps as soon as it gets dark, would you have even known that there's more to this plant? Ayo, ayo. But on the bright side, at least there's this. Listen. Oh, wait. It's got to happen at nighttime. Oh, at nighttime, we have a brand new ambiance here. It's beautiful. It's quiet. I still wish they would make this thing a little bit louder here, but the firefly bush. I mean, listen to it. That actually sounds like flies. I love it. This definitely feels like inside of this update, there's an option for a brand new like toggle or maybe like a readjustment of this one, ambient environment. Because all of these new updates they're adding, like the wind and the desert, the firefly, they're beautiful. They're just so quiet. Another thing that I've noticed, and you gotta help me out here with this one, but gigantic mushroom inside of the swamp biome. So I found nothing about this on the changelog at all, but this definitely isn't on Minecraft Java Edition. Has this always been like this on Bedrock, or is this a secret new change? I'm not gonna lie, I love it. It's so cool. It's kind of like every once in a while, and it helps populate this biome up, make it a little bit more interesting and unique. It's sort of just like the idea I saw somebody say to me on Twitter the other day, where there should be gigantic flowers in World Generation 2. Like maybe inside of the flower forest? One of the greatest parts of Minecraft's newest update is this beautiful new leaf block, especially since they made the update where you can place this thing on basically any block in the entire game. And in this week's preview, no longer tragically will you be able to bone meal this leaf. I guess it makes sense. It was a small expose, perhaps, of the copy work and coding. Bone meal on the leaves no longer works. It makes perfect sense. Also, we have a change with the leaf placement. It can only be placed on blocks with full top support. I'm not sure which instances this specifically changed on Bedrock. I didn't have enough time to test it. But yeah, taking a look at the changelog here. Hey, oh, wait, this wasn't a thing before. Grass has randomly, like it's randomly offset now. This is a gigantic change, especially considering the fact that this thing got way more common inside of 1.20, 1.60. But wait a second, now that I think about it, 1.20, 1.60, the grass... No, that's random. Huh? Oh, it's with the short and tall dry grass. Might be. Yeah, that's a nice change. That makes perfect sense. And whoa, look at how short that one is. Wait a second. It can actually shrink into the block on Bedrock? That's so cool. So look, I'm not crazy. I swear. I'm sure of it. I'm fully stable. Okay? So I want to kick this part off with a little bit of just like basically clarification. This past week, when we got the amazing villager update, everything like that, everybody thought that there wasn't a single hint or teaser for it. I think there might have been. So this happened on February 6th, so this would have been actually the week before here, but we have a random post on Twitter from Minecraft saying this is a post of a post that says this is a post. Okay, yes, on its own, a little goofy and silly, but they could have put this post inside of literally anywhere in the overworld, but they chose the village. 1 week before a villager update, and given the fact that they have been doing a ton of social media teasers lately, I love it. Hey, how is this not a hint, right? I don't think this is a stretch to say. They also put basically the same post over on their Twitter as well, which only leads to the theory that this thing is a hint because they were kind of putting it all over the place. Additionally, inside of the Minecraft WhatsApp server, they said something interesting earlier this week. This question right here, some people picked up on this one. This was on Monday before the sheep update was added to the game. Starting out the series, we have the beloved chicken. They're basically going to share a fun fact about a mob. Here's a real world fun fact from our feathered friends. Did you know that chickens eat grass like they're slurping spaghetti? Did you say eat grass? Well, did you know what also eats grass and got an update this week? Right there. You showed off for me. Sorry about that, buddy. I swear, these teasers seemingly being everywhere and sometimes really small is going to send me down the rabbit hole, and that's what they might have just done. Minecraft's latest update is heating up. It's spicy, and I love it. Over on Twitter, this is February 6th, so this is before the sheep update of this past week, but there's so much cool stuff coming to Minecraft. This is from a developer, and it's only February. What are you excited about? And it's only February. Well, I think I'm most excited about that. There's more to the update still. What this says to me is the fact that there's more to this update still. After all, this is a spring drop update, and technically, spring doesn't even officially begin on the calendar until March 31st. I swear, I almost said it. I'm cooked. I've been on Reels too much. Well, now, we just might have a weather hint, and well, dare I say that this could fit into this update perfectly. Alright, if you think I'm completely lost, then you just go ahead and let me know, but it's been a pretty dreary week for us weather-wise, but we'd love to know what the weather is like where you're at. React with an emoji to share us your weather. Hopefully many of you are enjoying lovely sunshine. That's kind of random, no, of Minecraft to just ask everybody, hey, what's the weather like in your area? And this came like shortly after the whole sheep update was implemented to the game. Weather. What's the weather like? I don't know how often Minecraft has ever asked me that one before, but that's really weird. Now let's zoom the picture out for a second here, because weather inside of Minecraft, I mean, we know how it works. We probably don't love it, but we know how it works. Inside of the more temperate biomes here, we have rain. Inside of the more cold biomes here, we have snow. Alas, but inside of the warm biomes here, we have, well, absolutely nothing at all. This totally feels like a gigantic missed opportunity, and, well, I mean, guys, think about it. With this update already having different variants for temperate, cold, and warm, why not different weather variants, too? A sandstorm inside of the desert. So look, up until this point in time when I made this video, there are no other current weather hints, so this really could just be nothing, but at the same time, I mean, the devs know it. The weather system is lacking, hasn't been updated in years. Are we maybe about to see weather system overhauled into Minecraft? After all, a sandstorm could work literally just like a snowstorm does. All we would need is the implementation of sand layers to the desert. Hey, now really quick, I want to kind of talk about Minecraft a little bit, because they actually went ahead and completely changed this entire article, but not so fast. First off, the screenshots inside of this article, some of them are like fine screenshots. Other screenshots, for example, this one, like take a look at the angles that are going on here. What in the world happened? The screenshot was not even in the game. This screenshot right here too, we have a completely different llama texture here. This is actually developer art texture, I believe, because the llamas here, they don't have that texture in game. Like, unless we're about to get a secret update, check out the feet right there. They have a completely different, like, foot design. There's no shoes or whatever. Now, it's kind of funny. I took a screenshot of this picture. This was the original header of the announcement article for the sheep update, because I had a feeling something weird was going to happen to this. But they went ahead and completely removed this from the article because, well, I mean, I guess what in the heck in the world is going on here? So this is crazy. I do this every day for a thumbnail, make a little setup inside of my world. It's not hard at all, but Mojang, yeah, you could probably find even more spots inside of this image, but Mojang, is this the vertical slab update of all time? Alright, that's enough for today. Thanks for watching. Smash like and subscribe to join the coolest club in the world. Channel members, there's extra benefits. If you really love what I do, consider becoming a member. Helps me out. Until next time, I think I'll be cooking in the kitchen for you. Goodbye.